Crank up that time machine. We are heading back to 1974. The panel is here. We are going to look at our top favorite tracks from that year. So without any further ado, let's get this episode underway.
He's in his basement, and he's worldwide. Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and the panel is here, and we are back, and we are now looking at 1974. Everybody's got their choices. This is very, how we say, what would be a good word? Overzealous? Because we're going to pick our top favorite tracks, our 10 favorite tracks, each one of us. Hopefully we can do this less than 2 hours, but we're going to give it a shot. I think last time we went, an hour and a half?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we can do it in an hour because we're very fast at this point. You are all professionals. So, again, we're going to talk, we're going to rap, we're going to have a good time. We want to hear from the people in the chat, and I want to extend a thank you to everybody tuning in tonight because we could not do this without you. And I want to thank you gentlemen for coming up. We've got Byron, we've got Ernesto, we've got DC, and we've got John the Music Nut tonight. And we are, like I said, we're going to talk about 1974. So let's get started. I am just going to go clockwise. So we'll go Byron, Ernesto, DC, and John. And we'll chat with the crowd and the people and the fans, and we'll just go from there. So let's start with Byron. Well, we have some good evenings, but Brian says good evening. Sean Barnes, welcome.
Good evening to all.
Brian would like to pick John Denver Annie's song. Is that 1974? Probably.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
Deep Rocker's here too. Let's kick it off with Paul McCartney and Wings Band on the Run. Benny and the Jets.
We cover that album quite a bit in 73, so there's probably a little overlap there.
Anthony wants to know if there will be Prog.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be some Prog here. He's gonna like some.
Did you tune into the Prog stream last weekend with Rand? There's Prog on this channel, baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
There you go. 1970. Hey Zeb, thanks for showing up. Working Man. That's true. That was the first. 1974. The Usual Subjects or Suspects. Reading words are hard to read, especially side by side.
We're gonna have
Hey,
some good
Louis.
stuff.
Hey, welcome. Nice to see you.
Hello, Louis.
Hello, Louis.
Steve Mullen Brandon Joker. All right. Enough of that. Enough for you people in the chat. Let's go over to Byron. Byron, what's your first choice?
Okay. We're gonna do like two at a time. Like last time, we switched to two at a time.
Let's do two at a time. Just
all right,
to
we'll
keep
do that.
it cranking.
Right.
And I will do my best to put the images up.
Great. I got the albums here in case too. So I'm gonna start with the song. They released two albums this same year, 74. And I think the song was originally on the first album, but that was in England. I'm going to go with the American album, though. I'm going to go with Sweet Set Me Free. Desolation Boulevard.
I don't even, Byron, where are you coming up with that? Because I don't have any Sweet albums from your list.
That was the first thing on my list.
No,
Set Me
you're
Free.
absolutely out of control. I don't even have that.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're talking about.
It
man.
must be a different list.
He's a rebel.
You are on the edge, Byron.
I can't be constrained by years.
I don't care. I don't care what list I give you.
I gave you my list. So
I know I got most of it, but I don't remember Sweet.
To me, that was like early speed metal almost. They were sounding a little bit like Queen, or Queen was sounding a little bit like them because those two bands really started doing this around the same time. So that's a really good album.
Fantastic.
The next pick I'm going to go with is I'm going to go with the opening track on Crime of the Century.
Oh, you damn
Byron. The introduction to
I don't even have that on my list.
But anyway, the intro to that is kind of haunting with that that harmonica, and then just with Rogers singing, and then it kind of leads into the verses, which is it's just a great song. I'm not going to say much more about it.
All right.
That whole album is good. I mean, you could pick a couple songs off of that album. So
Well, considering the first two albums were kind of and then they regrouped. Either they broke up or they reformed, and they came up with Crimes of the Century. I mean, it was brilliant. Totally different than what came before.
Yep.
All right, excellent choices. All right, Ernesto, go ahead.
I'm gonna do it from 10 to 1. So I'm gonna do my number 10, which is Child of Novelty, Frank Moreno, Mahogany Rush.
Nice.
Look at that graphics there, DC.
Wild. I mean,
Psychedelic.
the glory days of vinyl and the art form that was the album cover. Oh, mwah, chef's
Great
kiss.
album. And I'm going to go with Talk About a Feeling. Now, when he released this album, he was 18, 19 years old. Very psychedelic, very Hendrix influenced. It's just mind-blowing that an 18-year-old can sound like Hendrix and be that good and that amazing and take it to a next level.
And also as a songwriter, Ernesto.
Yeah, he wrote all the songs,
Yep.
Forget about what people say. Oh, he's just a Hendrix imitator and all that. No, totally different. It's not even the same. And then I'm going to go with this little album.
Oh, yes.
Treasure of Riches, that one.
Yes, Bridges Signs. There it is.
D Rocker.
You cannot talk about this album enough. I know we talked about this one before, but you cannot talk about this album enough. I love this album. But Bridge of Signs to me is just mind-blowing, psychedelic. Everything you could imagine about a guitarist in Trower. And, he's up there with, Frank Moreno and stuff, taking it to the stratosphere, sound-wise, performance-wise. You can't beat none of these albums. So those are my 10 and 9.
Absolutely.
I've got that, but it's a different song.
Oh.
But that's okay. People understand what this is.
Exactly.
So, And I just want to do a shout out to my lovely wife who just gave me a Facebook like.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I have to give a shout out. I'm trying to be a good husband.
Check these out. If you have a chance, check out the Frank Moreno. If you're not familiar with Frank Moreno, check out his Frank Moreno. And of course, don't ever forget this album because this is a classic.
It is a classic. All right, DC.
And Ernesto, that Bridge of Sighs may come up later on. I don't want to be a blowhard, but I feel like with my top 10, I got to preface why the 10 are going to be the 10. So I'm not dodging rocks and Rotten Tomatoes. 74 back then, if you were a kid, the Top 40 radio was the soundtrack of your life. You went to the pool, you went to putt, anything you did, the AM radio was playing. So I went with 7 top 40 songs, 3 album cuts. I could have gone with 10 album cuts, no problem. It's almost impossible task to do. But the thing is, with my 10 picks, these songs for me, I've listened to them hundreds, if not thousands of times, never get tired of them, still love them. So with that, and with that setting everything up, and then no order, my first pick is going to be possibly the only band to hit the top 40 that's made up of American Indians, and that's Redbone, Come and Get Your Love.
Oh,
there you go.
Which
nice.
Just infectious, catchy, great beat, great chorus and guitar line. And it kind of had a new life when it was on the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. So that kind of gave it more life, another life, so to speak. But that's my number 10 pick. Oh, and there we have the graphic. Great.
I got one of the graphics up.
And I always talk about what's available on YouTube. But there's a performance of them doing this song on the Midnight Special when they open it doing some tribal Indian dance and then kick right into the song. So check that out later on. Not now, after the show.
I've seen that footage.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's pretty cool. It really is.
You're sitting there watching going, holy crap, look at them.
What? Yeah. Okay. And then my second pick, my number 9, I wanted to pick a female artist, and I was going back and forth between
I got
4 or 5 different tunes. And what I wanted to do is I'll pick one song to be representational, about 4 or 5 that are close that I love. And this song is absolutely hated by many people. I love it. And if we were in front of a live audience, like I said, I'd be dodging rocks and rotten vegetables right now. But it's Midnight at the Oasis by Maria Muldaur.
That song's not
that's a
hated
great
by
song.
that's a classic.
It is hated by some people.
Why?
That song to me, it has like a timeless quality. It's jazzy, breezy, and that guitar solo, it's like lilting, just like Muldaur's voice is in the song. It's just tremendous. So unique, distinctive, sensual. It was between this one and Joni Mitchell's Help Me, but this one's just so different that I went with it. And for all you Todd Rundgren fans, there's a little Todd Rundgren trivia that you wouldn't expect with talking about Maria Muldaur. Her daughter was in Todd Rundgren's band for the Second Wind album and the tour. She was one of the backup singers, Jenny Muldaur. So
Jenny Muldaur, yeah.
yeah, she's Maria's daughter and was in Todd's band for a while. So
Well,
just a little bit of trivia.
if anybody's like into guitar players, I think that's Amos Garrett who played the guitar lick on Midnight at the Oasis, which he's an incredible player.
It's just like that. Go ahead, Ernesto.
Is she considered soul music, or what is she considered?
Maria, she's been in bands previous, but this was a solo outing by her.
Her first one.
Yeah. And like I say, that guitar part is for 70s pop, right up there with My Love by McCartney and Wings. That guitar part there is just one for the ages.
Cool.
Here you go, Brian McFadden, John Lennon, whatever gets you through the night. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
A big fan.
Oh, D Rockers says Midnight at the Oasis is a classic. Well, I'm glad some people are agreeing with me, because I do know folks that song is a wall puncher for them.
Yeah.
Do not like it.
Yeah, there are people that like this song. Annie T likes it.
Okay, great.
Is Redbone
Here's one.
considered-
Carl Douglas, Kung Fu Fighting. You remember?
Yeah.
You gentlemen remember that? I don't know if anybody picked it, but
Nobody.
Yeah, I
picked
remember.
it.
that was
Hey,
big
play
when
in
I
a
was a
band.
kid. When I was a kid.
Is Redbone considered the only famous Indian band group?
They're all Native Americans, and I can't
Yeah.
think of a band that's made up of all the
Right.
players being Native American.
I think
Indigenous.
so. I think
Indigenous.
that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. All right,
They
let's
were,
throw it to
thank you.
John the Music Nut and see what he has to say.
Think of Blackfoot. I don't know if they were all Indians.
Nah, I
Oh
think
yeah, Blackfoot. That's
some
a
of
Blackfoot
them
is pretty close. Pretty close. I
okay.
think there's one guy that is not, but
I don't
yeah,
think
that's a good
Charlie
point,
Haggard
John.
was.
Thanks.
Charlie
Good
Haggard
point.
was.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, this was difficult. It was hard to leave
Yeah,
a few
no.
songs out of here, but I got to bring the funk at least once. And it's all about rejuvenation. This is the Meters.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a, yeah, let me see, we go. There we go. Sorry for the glare there, everyone. But this is a killer, hard-ass funk album. The vocals on here are spectacular. The song I'm going to go with is What You Say. What You Say is a fantastic song. If you like some of Isaac Hayes' work from that era, you'd really be into the Meters. The Meters are spectacular. And I just got into them a few years ago, but this album I love to death. I could have picked a few songs on here. I was bouncing between Just Kiss My Baby and What You Say, but I went with the latter. But I cannot recommend this album highly enough for the track What You Say. Great call and response between the vocals. The bass is spectacular on it. Catchy as sing. Great chorus. Very memorable track. But yeah, What You Say is my number 10. Now.
Holy crap, that's a good one.
Thank you. Now, number 9, you'll all know. This will be one of the 2 top 10 hits I have here. And this band is still around. There's still 2 of the original singers there. And most of the other guys in the band have been there a long time. I know the guitar player has been there over 40 years. And the first part of the 70s, this band was white hot. And their stuff has really stood up. Again, like I said, still do a great live show. I'm going to go with America. This is their greatest hits album, History. This is their first greatest hits album. And I'm going to go with the song Tin Man from the album Holiday. This is a wonderful song. Dewey Bunnell's sad vocal on it. Wonderful track. I love the sparse use of the piano in the choruses. Excellent track. I mean, they've I love the lyric on this as well. I mean, there's so many. America has so many great tracks, and this was probably one of their last to hit the top 10. I think Lonely People was from this album. Oh, and then Sister Golden Air from Hearts hit #1 the next year. And then You Could Do Magic a bunch of years later. But yeah, Tin Man.
And George Martin produced that album. So
yes, yeah, thank you. That he did. I had forgotten that. Yeah.
He produced most of their catalog, didn't he?
Well, quite a bit. I mean, I think this one and the subsequent one or two after that, but definitely that one George Martin produced.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right. Excellent choice. Good God, you people. All right. So I'm going to pick, well, how can I not pick this, for God's sakes? Steely Dan, Ricky Don't Lose That Number from Pretzel Logic. A classic, probably one of the best Steely Dan albums. Of course, you know, Steely Dan has not ever put out a poor album. So, but think about this. What a great track for 1974. I'm ready for the argument.
No,
everyone's agreement. All right.
Okay.
So that's my one of my picks. And the other one I'm going to go with is David Essex Rock On. Now, okay, let me give you the brief story about this. I knew this track, okay? And I always thought it was cool, but then they used to play it on FM rock radio a lot back in the day, right? Am I right? Yes.
You're correct.
Well, I was at a record store in Cincinnati when I was seeing my daughter. Well, I see my daughter and I also go to the record store. And I saw a copy of this CD in the bin, and it was on Columbia. I had never seen this CD before in my life. Just a regular Columbia CD. Whatever. And I thought, well, it was like $5. I thought, well, shit, I can use this. I can put it in a show, 70s show. This would be a great song. Well, I got the record and I listened to the whole CD. And if you like this track Rock On, you will like the whole record because it's all very similar. And the production on this is top notch. The Columbia CD sounds wonderful. Mm-hmm. Warm, great mix. I definitely give this record a 4 out of 5 stars.
Wow.
If you've never heard it, try to check it out. You will probably be blown away by it. I don't know.
It's funny that you mentioned that, Grant, because I somehow stumbled upon a review of this album, and I've never heard the whole album. They said they mirrored the same thing you said. If you like the single, you will love the whole album. So
yeah, it's great. And the record's very unique sounding. I can't tell you any other record that sounds quite like this. Well, think about it. If you listen to the song Rock On, tell me what that sounds like. It doesn't sound like anything else.
Agreed. It's sparse and it's
the only thing I know that sounds like this. Check it out. You might be surprised. So there you go. Let's see.
There was an artist,
Sean Barnes, great.
Artist who did that song in the 80s too and made that a hit. Do you remember who that was?
I don't know.
Cassidy.
Who?
Some
David
soap
Cassidy.
opera dude did it.
Yeah,
My
that's
wife would know.
Michael something. I forget his name.
Michael
now.
McDonald?
No, not
Cimbello? No. Was it Michael Cimbello?
No,
Michael Cimbello. It was on the Flashdance soundtrack.
That was Maniac.
Oh,
I thought David Cassidy covered that song. No,
It was a guy who was on a soap opera who did it.
The Good Doctor.
Michael Damian.
yeah, there you go, Michael Damian,
Was.
the guy from General Hospital.
Right.
You guys have to be quiet.
Sorry.
The Good Doctor mentioned that I had a great pick. I just wanted to throw that out. Now you guys can talk.
Don't
All
ask
right,
me
let's
about
throw it
how
over
I
to
met
Byron.
Michael Damian.
Michael Damian. Who
I told you my wife would know that.
I don't know why Mrs. BM Bolt doesn't come on. I'd like to get her
Yeah.
the dirt
Get her
on
take.
BM Bolt.
You know, once again, two of you fantastic people are commenting are in my brain.
We need to get Mrs. BM Bolt in the trophy.
Yeah,
wife.
that'd be great. Yeah.
Byron
Oh,
has.
All right, I'm up.
Nice.
So
All right, go ahead.
I'll preface what I should have said this before, but I'm going to preface it. I didn't know any of these songs in the 70s.
Okay.
So I'm picking stuff that I discovered much later. So I'm going to go with the first track on the second album by the Scorpions called Speedy's Coming.
Oh,
crap.
Oh,
Yes.
So this is our introduction to Uli John Roth.
yes.
And, kind of like with, people say that Frank Marino might have listened to a little bit of Hendrix. Well, Uli listened to a lot of Hendrix.
Oh, yeah.
But he also seemed to take Hendrix and was like Hendrix on steroids in some ways.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of classical in his playing where Hendrix really didn't have any of that for the most part. Maybe he would have developed that. But this is a great track. There's a couple great songs on here I could have picked, like They Need a Million. I really like that one as well. And then for my next pick, I don't have a prop. So I don't know if Grant's got it or not.
I don't know. I'm kind of failing at the prop thing tonight.
I'm going to go with the song Starless off of King Crimson Red.
Oh, okay.
So that's like a 12-minute song. And the intro is just really slow with Mellotron and this beautiful guitar melody that Fripp's playing, just this real slow melody. And that goes on for 3 or 4 minutes. And then the song completely changes and it's real slow, but then it just builds into this frenzy toward the end. You got to hear it if you haven't heard that song.
Well, that's a must
Fantastic.
own.
Yeah.
It's a great
Anyway,
record.
so there's a little prog there for
I love that. Holy
Good
crap.
one.
Getting all worked up. All right, Ernesto, let's throw it over to you.
All right, so this is gonna be my number 7 and what is it? Actually, my number 8 to my number 7. So my number 8 is gonna be Trapeze,
Oh,
Yeah.
Full Swing. This is like a compilation, but the song that I picked from Trapeze is Coast to Coast, which is Glenn Hughes. Oh my God, that's just an amazing song. There's a lot of great songs on this, but Coast to Coast to me is more a song that I like because of his vocal style. Very soulful, very, there's a little punk in there. I mean, a little funk in there, a little bit, but
they were
very
funky.
soulful. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Your Love Is All Right. Yeah, that's a funky
Yeah.
one from
Definitely funky album.
Yeah, and so a lot of people probably say they sound like Bad Company, Free, and stuff like that. But there's a little Deep Purple in here too, so they have that sound. But you can't go wrong with this compilation, and you can't go wrong with Coast to Coast. So,
Agreed.
And then my number 7, of course, is Supertramp,
yes.
Crime of the Century, and I picked Dreamer.
Yeah,
I just love that song. You know what? The harmonica, everything about Supertramp as a kid, when you hear it, you never think harmonica will be so interesting. You know what I mean? You think it was like a dumb instrument and stuff. You never think about it as a kid. But when you hear it in this album or any of the Supertramp albums, you know how good it is. It's amazing. And I love this album because of my brother who got me into this album when I was a kid. Always played it. And that's why I loved it so much. But I picked Dreamer.
Don't tell Magic Dick that the harmonica is a dumb instrument. Excellent choice. Excellent. Thank you, Ernesto. All right, DC.
Okay, now we're going to move to my 8 and 7 pick. For my 8th pick, I'm going to pick the rock song for that category because I'm picking one to represent 4 or 5 different songs that I could have picked. And it's going to be Radar Love by Golden Earring. That beat, that bass that propels it. It's a great song. It's sparse. but it's just continually driving that song. So pick that one. And another top 10. And for me, from the 70s, list wouldn't be complete without a song from this artist, who, in my opinion, is a musical genius.
I think I know.
And I went, Grant, and I'm going with the top 40 hit, Hello, It's Me from Todd.
There you go.
Just a perfect pop song. I mean, I could have gone, this is from his previous album, but the single was
It came out later.
Yeah.
72, man.
72.
All right, now let me clear this up. Now, some of these tracks may have come earlier, but they were a hit during 1974. So being that this is my show, I give the leeway. So
your benevolence is appreciated.
I know, but
I could have picked anything off of the Todd album, which I love. But I'm going with the top 40 single, one of the great pop hits of the 70s. Hello, It's Me. So
that's right. It is the Nas.
The one that song by the Nas, to me, sounds like the Letterman. Hello.
Look, Mrs. BM Cole. Look at her. She wants to be on this show so bad. She wants to be on this show so bad.
There you go.
I think she might be sitting next to him.
She's upstairs.
All right. I want to give a shout out before we go to John the Music Nut. I want to give a shout out to the Parish of Rock. He's a new Patreon subscriber on the Contrarians, and welcome to my show as well, Parish. I'd like to get you on here too, because he was great on the last show we had. So welcome aboard.
Absolutely.
Ooh, D Rocker, Harry Chapin, Cats in the Cradle. Oh my God, how about this, gentlemen? Pilot Magic.
Good tune.
Yeah.
That's a great track.
It is.
It is
fantastic.
great.
That was on my almost list.
It's a good one.
Great,
All right,
great hit.
Let's throw it over to John, the Music Nut.
Yeah, Magic.
That's a good one.
One of the great, fantastic one-hit wonders too. More on that later. But
okay. All right,
so
go ahead.
I'm gonna serve up some nightmares and other tales from the vinyl jungle.
Got that.
The Jay Giles Band.
There you go.
I've got that somewhere.
And I'm gonna go with Detroit Breakdown.
Here it is.
What a fantastic song. Oh my gosh. This album is a killer. Their first several albums are fantastic. One of the best bands there ever was. Yep, Magic Dick. Smoking.
Magic Dick.
Yeah.
See?
Magic Dick.
His ears were
God.
burning when Ernesto said that was a crappy instrument.
Oh my God. This song is just so infectious. Must have got lost. Which one of you, it might have been D Rocker, if I may.
It might have been D Rocker.
Who mentioned that one. That was the big hit off this album, but Detroit Breakdown is a scorcher, a heck of an opener. I mean, this is, you want to hear, who were the Jay Giles Band you put on this song? Because you got the best of everything on here. Thank you. That's what it was. It was D Rocker.
Yeah.
Yep, you're in my brain, but oh my God, Detroit Breakdown. Possibly one of the two best songs with Detroit in the title, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And speaking of Detroit in the title, well, here's the band that did the other one. And it's Kiss.
Oh.
The self-titled album.
No.
Now, I'm not going to go with Detroit Rock City because that's from 76. I'm going to go with Black Diamond, which is the track that ends this album. What a smoking track.
Yeah.
Another great Paul Stanley song. And he gave up a few. He didn't do the vocals on all of them. This one, Peter Criss sings the heck out of it. And it's perfect for his raspy voice.
Yeah, Peter Criss doesn't get nearly enough credit as a vocalist. I mean, the songs he did with Kiss were great.
Well, let's throw this out since we're talking Kiss real quick. Who was the best vocalist in Kiss?
That's a hard
I like Paul Stanley, but Peter Criss is not.
Come on, Peter Criss could outsing Paul Stanley.
Depends if you like that rasp, fine, but Paul's just pure pop rock vocal.
I'm with
My
DC
opinion.
on here. Like, Paul had the better voice, but if you wanted a great rock voice, you had to go with Peter.
Well, I bet if you put Peter Criss up against Paul Stanley now.
Unfortunately, Paul's voice is shot. Oh, it's so sad. Yeah. Yep.
Look at the Paul Stanley. Definitely no. Come on, man.
Yes. My people.
And the live version on a live one is spectacular, as great as the studio version is. But this is a great album. I mean, everything is great on here except for Kissin' Time and maybe the instrumental. I mean, the rest of the album.
Agreed.
Instrumental's good. It's all
Otherwise, that album is a 10. And just if we could do something real quick, what was everybody's impression the first time you saw Kiss? I mean, that was like, I had never seen anything like that before in my life. It was like kabuki theater with sci-fi horror with
Well, when you see Kiss Alive, the first album cover, you see it like Kiss Alive was like mind blowing, comic book wise.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, it was mind blowing as a kid.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking Kiss,
we're gonna be.
I'm gonna jump on what John the Music Nut said. Come on, man, this is good. He went with Black Diamond, but I'm gonna go with Strutter.
Nice.
Can't go wrong.
Come on.
Can't go wrong with that.
Iconic. Okay, you've got Strutter. You've got Detroit Rock City. Well, I think Black Diamond's iconic too. But give Rock and Roll All Night. Strutter is one of the iconic Kiss songs.
Yeah.
You cannot argue with that.
Yeah.
And an early track from the first album, Killer. Come on, you can't argue with that.
Oh, that first album. Firehouse, Deuce. I mean,
right. So that's my first one. This may break the internet, or we might get a lot of hate mail. But I'm gonna go with yet another Kiss track off Hotter Than Hell. Now you think I'd be choosing Hotter Than Hell, but I'm not. I think this is probably the Gene Simmons' best track.
Oh boy.
And I want someone to please weigh in. Please weigh in. Peanut Gallery. All right, here we go. Going Blind off of Hotter Than Hell. Come on. What a great track. What is Byron shaking his head? Where's Mrs. BM Bolt? Get her in here so she can back me up. Going Blind's a great track, and Hotter Than Hell's my favorite. Okay, go ahead.
I stopped listening to Kiss when I hit puberty. I'm sorry.
What the
rumor has it, Byron, you're still in puberty. But what I'm saying is this is my favorite Kiss album. Yeah, does it sound like shit? Yes. But the songwriting's there. Look at this record. I know we're on a tangent. Sorry, bear with me. But you name me a better Kiss album with this has the best Ace Frehley guitar parts. This record. Come on.
They really did something different with this second album. That first album set a certain template.
Right.
And then Hotter Than Hell, it was like turned the Kiss paradigm on its ear. It was still Kiss, but they were hitting it from a different direction. I mean,
this sounds great in a garage rock kind of sense.
Right.
Yes, it sounds horrible, but there's something about it. It's got a certain charm to it, you know? I don't know. But the cover art, DC, come on, the cover art on here. Come on, man.
No wonder why they probably saw that they were making great strides in Japan, because it's very much tailored to their sensibilities graphics wise.
There you go. I'm getting backup. I feel good about that. Here we go. D-Rock or BTO taking care of business. That's a good one. I can guarantee you that I chose some Ohio players. But I wanted to go with the Kiss theme right now. I sound like Joe Biden. All right, man. Anyway, let's
give
go.
Give them their due. Give them their due.
Yeah.
Killer record, though.
All right, Byron, let's go over to you.
All right. I'm going to go with something I don't think anybody's ever mentioned this artist on a top 10 list on any of your shows yet. So I'm going to go with Frank Zappa. From the
CNL.
I'm going with, it's actually two songs that kind of segue into each other. Eschnitter's Art of You and Don't You Ever Wash That Thing. Anybody know those tracks?
Oh yeah, that's a great album.
Okay, so
I was thinking of different songs, but okay.
this has got to be some of his best instrumental stuff right here. I mean,
Better than Hot Rats?
well, Peaches and the Son of Mr. Green Jeans are fantastic, but this is top notch too.
Okay.
The musicianship on this track and the writing, it's just insane. When they start playing these fast runs where George and Ruth are just going at it, George on his keyboard and Ruth on the vibes or whatever the hell it's like, wow, how can they even play this? It's just mind-boggling. And then it continues into the Don't You Ever Watch That Thing as well. It's just incredible. So yeah, if you don't know that, you need to hear it. And then I'm going to go with Kansas's first album.
Holy mackerel.
And I might surprise a few people, but I'm going to go with Belexis, which, a lot of people, they might go with Journey from Mariabron or Death of Mother Nature. I'm going with Belexis. It's a fairly short song. But man, I'm telling you, it's fast. Steve is singing his ass off on this song, and he's playing his ass off too. It's got a great organ solo, a nice wah guitar solo, but there's just these runs that they're playing on the keyboard and the guitar match, and it's just incredible. So that's what I'm going with Belexis.
Oh, cool.
That's some early prog right there. Early prog.
Early American prog.
American prog, yeah.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it. There you go. We get a 5-star review from Byron. I hope his wife weighs in, though.
She likes Kansas.
Does she?
Yeah.
Cool. I like her already. All right, let's go throw it over to Ernesto. Ernesto, what's up with you, my friend?
All right. So I know we talked about this album earlier. Well, somebody brought it up. I forgot who. I think it was DC or Byron, but I'm going to talk about this album anyways. But
okay.
Let's talk about a little Sweet.
That's a popular choice tonight.
Yes. And I picked Fox on the Run. I just love that song. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's in so many soundtracks now, and it's just a great, fun song. But I think this band is like, these guys were the beginning of glam rock. This is really glam rock, okay? This is, a lot of people just have different variations of glam rock, and they can never figure out, but this is glam rock, but this is the good glam rock.
Okay.
You can never go wrong with Sweet.
It rocks.
It rocks. Okay. So that'll be my number 6. And my number 5 is a very, very popular band. And I think this album to me is just great. It's an amazing album. It's an amazing band. A little band called Bad Company.
Oh, Bad Company.
Yes.
I've got that somewhere.
You can't go wrong with a little Bad Company. And I pick, of course, my favorite song. Oh, there's a lot of great songs in here, but my favorite is Seagull. Oh. I just love that song. It's an amazing song. I mean, people have covered it, but nobody covers it like Bad Company. So there you go. Bad Company.
And you're not choosing Feel Like Making Love.
No, I mean, I think that's it's very popular, but Seagull, you don't really hear much about Seagull.
No, that's kind of like the only track on that record that's not quite as, it's definitely not overplayed.
No, not on the radio. No.
All right. Excellent choice. Well, DC, we're back to you.
Okay. So now we come to the portion of my top 10 where we get into the soul funk dance mode.
Yeah.
Now, there were many, many songs I could have picked from the soul category, and I was banging my head against the wall trying to pick what I wanted. You Make Me Feel Brand New, Stylistics, Show and Tell, L. Wilson, La La, 2 songs that Todd even recorded, For the Love of Money and Mighty Love. All fantastic songs, but I decided for my soul pick I was going to go with Don't You Worry About a Thing by Stevie Wonder. It's different, and that's like a lot of my choices. I picked the song that's just a little in that category, but just a little bit different. This guy then got a soul bossa nova thing going on with it, and it was different than all the other choices I was considering. So they're all wonderful, great songs. And that album, that's a 10 right there, Intervisions.
Yeah.
Wow. So, and then my next controversial pick, I could have gone with Ohio Players and Fire. That's a fine
Should have.
booty shaker, as the kids call it. or not. But I picked a song that was just like right on the cusp of something that was going to hit big time in a year or two. And you could see the early bits of that influence coming through on this. It's Never Gonna Give You Up by Barry White. Byron's thinking, what is wrong with this man? That song's got the early aspects of the disco movement, but it's got melody, it's got feeling, it's not a repetitious over and over the same 7 notes or anything. It's a true great soul track that you can dance to. So I wanted to add one of those songs. Like I said, could have gone with the Ohio Players. That was right there, but I figured I'd throw a little Love Berry's way. So
what would you give that out of 10 as far as danceability?
Oh, it's 9.
A 9. All right.
9.
Just trying to channel, American Bandstand.
Very soulful.
Get the
very
chart.
relaxing.
That's right.
Great song.
There you go. Barry White. God knows who knew we were going to hear Barry White tonight. There we go.
Everything from King Crimson to Barry White. We cover it all here between the 5 of us.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, John the Music Nut.
All right. So, Grant, do you
Yes,
remember
sir.
the first show that you and I did outside the Contrarians? We did it with our fantastic friend, Mr. Ryan Gavalier. Hello, Ryan, from Ryan's Vinyl Destination.
I talked to Ryan today, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. How's he doing?
He's doing good. It looks like we were going to finish up the Cheap Trick series. And we're going to get back on the Beach Boys series with Davy. Seems like he's back in action. So we're bringing
All
Brian
right.
back into the fold. But he's doing good. The first episode we did together, us 3,
Yes.
I don't remember. Well, God, I don't know what.
Well, we did an album more. We did Joni Mitchell's Court and Spark.
Oh, my
versus
God. Yeah.
Hissing of Summer Long. So, and Court and Spark came out in 74. And we all gave this album a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
We also did the same for Hissing of Summer Lawns. They're fantastic records. I went with the title track, but you can go with so many on here. Help Me was a huge hit. Free Man in Paris was a big hit. Twisted was a great song. Raised on Robbery was fantastic. So many cool songs. Car on a Hill, which was one I was considering too, but I went with the title track. This is probably the most somber song on here. This is mostly a piano track with Joni and the piano here, and it was spectacular opener on a fantastic album that went to #1. And as Grant said on that show, Joni was on fire here.
Whoa,
Sure,
whoa,
words never been spoken. That's my number 6.
I'm just amazed that you can remember what I said then.
Oh, I remember that. You said Joni was on fire. I'm like, yeah, this guy's good.
All right. Well, I can't remember what I say from day to day. All right. Excellent. I guess I'm up. Oh, go ahead. Are you up? No, you're still up.
I'm still up. Thanks.
Go ahead.
Okay. And now for something completely different. Thank you, D, for being in my brain again.
Yeah.
I only have this on cassette. I got to buy this CD. What am I thinking? So we're to go with Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Oh, crap.
Oh,
Yeah.
good one.
The title track to the fantastic Not Fragile album. Heavy caveman riff.
Yeah. Heavy, like Pete Pardo says.
That's right. C.F. Turner's vocal on here. Oh my God. His vocals were so rough. Here it's just so great. It's awesome. Really rough. This song is just like so simple yet so effective and rocks like hell. This whole album rocks like hell. I mean, This was their only #1 album here
Yeah.
in the States. Not Fragile, a play on Fragile from Yes. They sound nothing like Yes. This is just great lunch pail rock and roll, and it's still killer. It is spectacular, fantastic album. But I'm gonna go with the title track. You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet was the big #1 hit from this album, and Roll On Down the Highway was a big hit too. But another great album of Rich's right here. Not Fragile, BTO, Bachman Turner Overdrive.
I'm going to throw this out to the panel. Is this the best BTO album?
I was just going to say that's my favorite of theirs.
My
It's Not
favorite
Fragile.
too.
Yeah.
Seems like everything lined up. You know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whole thing's great. I've got like the 2 CD. There was like a recent, I don't know how long ago it was, but there's a 2 CD set that was released, like a deluxe edition that came out like in Canada that I picked up.
Okay,
Of course, you know, they're a Canadian band, so
right.
I don't know.
What's the album that the song Staying Awake All Night? That's their version.
That was on the first album, self-titled.
That's a great song, man. Great
Was-
song. Their version is good.
Crocus. I'm familiar
Yeah.
with Crocus's version.
They're a
man.
good one too.
Crocus. It all goes
Was
back
this-
to Crocus.
Was this the first album
It
that
all goes back to Crocus.
Crocus, man. Crocus.
That's the quote of the episode. Joe Walsh, welcome to the club. There you
was this BTO album the one where Blair Thornton joined the band, or was that Four Wheel Drive that came
go.
after
This
it?
one.
Yeah, because the guitar interplay was amped up once they replaced the one Bachman brother with Blair Thornton. He
Yeah.
just had more skills and was a good counterpoint to Randy's playing. I mean, those
Yeah.
two played off each other very well.
Yeah, I think Blair needs
Pretty
more
clearly.
credit. No one
Oh my
talks
God,
about
yeah.
Blair, but he did take that band
Up another level.
up another
He
level.
did.
All right. Yeah, excellent.
Nice.
All righty. Now I lost complete track. of
Back to
where-
Grant.
Oh, it's me. Well, I get all worked up. This is my second live show of the night.
I know you're doing double duty, and there's lots of great choices in the comments.
I know.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
so
yeah.
glad everybody's filling in. I mean, these are songs that are like on my almost list. Everybody seems to be filling in for me, so I'm happy about that.
Okay, well, this was already mentioned, so I'm going to mention it now. Ohio Players Fire. Come on, this is a funk anthem. I might like Love Roller
Absolutely.
Coaster more, but you cannot deny the impact of this song in 1974.
This is a 10 on the dance scale.
It's a 10 on the dance scale, and I think that the album cover artwork might be a 10.9.
It's kind of nice. I kind of like it.
I mean, she knows how to hold that hose,
No doubt.
and I'll leave it there. So, Graham, I see I'm all worked up now. So,
Warehouse after dark.
that's right. That's exactly it. So anyway, Ohio Players Fire. My other choice is okay. It all comes back. We're going to go with a power pop. What should we call it? Well, this is where power pop pretty much started. Big Star September Girls off Radio City from 1974. And I see a typo. There's no space between 1974 and Argent because I'm a human and I make mistakes. So, but Big Star September Girls, this album is great. At the time, I told this story before, but when I was a kid, we used to have a department store called Bargain City in beautiful, scenic Marion, Ohio. And when I was a kid, they had a lot. I mean, I was a kid. This is 74, barely a speck on the radar. But they used to they had a great record store in Bargain City, okay? And they had a lot of cutouts. We're talking Bargain City. If everybody heard of Rinks,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the same thing, okay? Rinks Bargain City, but they had, I remember this record when I was a kid. They must have had 25 or 30 copies of this in the cheapy bin. Now, if you would have bought those then and sold them now,
Yeah.
how much you would have.
Wow.
And I didn't know who Big Star was. I was just some kid. I like Walt Disney records. But so I'm talking about, I remember the cover now because I thought, well, that's a cool image.
Jiminy
anyway.
Cricket might do a song on it.
He might.
Star. He did that other Star song.
But anyway, September Girls, you know that the Bangles did a version of this classic. Come on, everybody knows that.
So Grant, you didn't hear anything from this album before. It was just the cover that drew you in and the price. But, okay, cool.
Well, I didn't hear anything about Big Star until REM. I read an article about REM. And REM was one of the first bands to really throw Big Star back out into the fold. Without REM, we may never have heard of Big Star. So back in the 80s, they were, you know, giving them plugs. So that's how I got turned on to Big Star, was through REM. So there you go, kids. Check this record out. It's good.
I hadn't heard of Big Star till Cheap Trick covered that song for the 70s show.
Oh, Dave the
Really?
Pickup. Dave, you know what I'm talking about then. Dave is from Marion. Dave the Pickup. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. There used to be a Bargain City that was at Crystal Lake that used to be in the roller rink, and they tore it down. They built another one further south in Marion. I don't want to talk about Marion because Marion's... But Dave knows what I'm talking about. Yep. Thanks, Dave, for showing up. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I'm new to Big Star. I have one album by them, but I need more spins.
Oh, there you go.
Well, you owe it to yourself. You need to check it out. Okay, kids. Let's throw it over to Byron. Byron, what you got?
I don't have a prop on this one.
I might not have your prop. Evidently,
You don't have any of my songs.
I know. I have failed everyone today.
I sent you the list and everything.
I know. I want to crawl under my desk.
So, like Sweet, who had 2 albums in 74, this band had 2 albums in 74. And like I also said, they sounded a lot like Sweet. They sounded like each other. So I'm going to go with Queen.
Yes.
Now, I was struggling which song I wanted to pick because there were like
going to guess
3 or 4. It's not that. I don't know where you're getting these songs, man.
And I also have it listed as 1874.
So anyway, I'm going on.
They were real pioneers in the rock field.
I'm going with Queen 2, and I'm going to go with Ogre Battle.
Oh, nice.
Excellent
Okay,
choice.
fine.
Excellent choice.
Go against everything that I've set up.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like the Sweet song, whatever the hell I picked, Set Me Free. This is like early speed metal once again. This song just that lick, you know, and then the vocals are just out of this world, you know, and those dramatic vocals, you know, with them hitting their high notes, and it's just it's just insane, man.
Yeah, what a great track. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I could have gone with Stone Cold Crazy or Killer Queen too. Sure, but I'm gonna go with Ogre Battle. Give it a little.
Okay, Ogre Battle, always going against the grain on this show.
So,
Bolt.
Great proto metal. Awesome.
My next track. This album's come up, I think, twice already, and nobody's picked my song yet. So I'm gonna go with Bridge of Sighs, the album Bridge of Sighs.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with Two Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
And hell, you know what? A little bit of sympathy or Fool of Me would be great too. But I'm going.
Why not Day of the Eagle?
Yeah. How
That's
about
a great
that one?
Yeah, that's a great song too.
Okay,
but,
well, I have graphics for that.
I'm telling you that. Why do you not have one for Two Rolling Stone? They gave you that.
Because I'm overextended.
Anyway, yeah, Two Rolling Stone. You know that bass riff is iconic.
Right.
And then he comes in with the wild intro with that, and then the verses are funky, and then it ends with that da, 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 and he just long solo at the end there. It's just it's probably one of my favorite Trower tracks.
Well, that's a great record.
That album, almost every song on there is
Well, let me throw this out. Is that the best Trower album?
Yeah,
probably.
It is for me.
Yeah.
It is for me.
It's because it's so good. I mean, the other albums, most of the other albums are great too, and especially in the 70s. But that one
Plus,
is just
Day of the
cream
Eagle
top.
sounds better live though on the live album, I think. If you
That
ever listen-
live album is incredible. So
Yeah, the
It
live
is.
one is just great. That's just
STP sticker.
that was the first thing I had by him was the live one. So
yeah.
so that's it for that.
Excellent. You got anything else? Was that your two?
No, that was my two.
I'm
Ogre
a
Battle
poor
and Two Rolling
host,
Stones.
gentlemen. I'm a poor host. All right, let's send it over to Zartan69.
Thank you very much. And I'm gonna do this is gonna be my my number 4, and it's a little known guitarist from Ireland,
Uh-oh.
little Roy Gallagher,
Nice.
live in '74. And the track that I pick is A Million Miles Away. And I'm telling you, this is the live album you want to listen to. This is one of the best ones I've heard. And
I've
a
got
lot
your
of people
graphic,
don't
too.
know Roy Gallagher because he wasn't as big as like other musicians and stuff. But you gotta hear him. And I think he's an amazing guitarist and he's underrated. But pick up this album if you have a chance and listen to it because I think it's great and you could never go wrong. So listen to some Roy Gallagher if you can.
You know what I'm more impressed with, Ernesto, is that you had the 8-track of this.
Yeah, I have props, man. I have props.
No
Man,
one
it's-
said you didn't have props, but
And it's an amazing collection of 8 tracks.
Right, thank you.
You're the king, man. I don't know anybody that's got that many 8 tracks. I kept a couple for nostalgia purposes.
Right.
Nowhere near your collection, and they seem to
Thank
be
you.
in really good shape.
Yeah, pretty much most of them, I find them in pretty good shape. I'm lucky.
just to let everyone know that Ernesto and I did an 8-track show.
Yeah.
So you can find that down in the, I don't know, there's a bazillion videos, but you can always find that. If you want to learn more about Ernesto and his collection, we have that.
Right. So my number 3, of course, is a little known band too by Deep Purple, Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I picked Mistreated from this album.
Nice.
I love Mistreated.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
You
can't
like-
argue with this album.
I mean, it's fair.
Oh
It's a
my.
great- and it's a great song. And Coverdale's voice is just amazing on this,
More to
can't
come
go-
on that.
Nice.
Ernesto, you and I are on the same wavelength with a lot of this stuff. Uncanny.
I love it. Mistreated. It's just, I don't know. I've been picking a lot of ballads for some strange reason. I don't know why, but I just love that song. And Purple is just like another great band that I love. So that'll be my pick.
Well, Louis, I am not having fun at all. This is like torture to be on with these guys. Especially John the Music Nut. He just grinds my gears, just like
I
Peter
do.
Griffin. Speaking of Ireland, what about the Van Morrison penned I Shall Sing, sung by Art Garfunkel? I'm sure DC knows that. Go ahead, DC. Can you talk about that?
Can I treat you with a few bars of that?
Yeah.
No, I'd rather not. People are still probably PO'd at me for that Maria Muldaur pick.
No, I like Maria Muldaur. Well, I'm going to throw this out real quick. We're already, what is it? Oh, we're almost ready to hit an hour. Good God. Seasons of Wither has been mentioned many times.
Right.
What does the panel think of that?
I like it,
I didn't
but
pick any Aerosmith. I'm just curious what everyone thinks.
on my list, same old song and dance and their cover of Train Kept a Rollin' were right up there with my album picks. But yeah, that's that second album. I thought the first 4 albums are just stunners, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just great.
All right. Well, let's next. That's you.
Okay. I will my 4th pick,
Okay.
and it's the last of my top 40 picks. This artist made my 73 list.
Oh, I know- I
On
think I
Fire
know
through
who
the
it is.
70s. Here we go. It's Paul McCartney and Wings Band on the Run. And really, no, it doesn't need to be elaborated, but it's just got so many different passages that I think just flow seamlessly one into another. And it's just such a memorable song and there's always something going on there that you notice over time that you didn't notice before. So,
well, think about this, just to throw that in. Think about it. You know, the Beatle fans were waiting for something to be very Beatle-esque. Because, you know, look at everybody else's output. George and John and Paul. No one really produced a Beatle-esque solo record. This was, well, I hate to say, but Ram was kind of.
Ram's my favorite album of his.
Yeah, I like
solo.
Ram too.
Yeah.
But think about it. Well, speaking of Ram.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there you
nice.
go.
There you go, kids. Since we're talking Paul McCartney. But this, I think, what the hell just happened?
Applause from the peanut
Oh,
gallery.
it sounds like someone's like
popping corn.
popping corn. I thought maybe it was Orville Redenbacher.
The ghost of Orville Redenbacher has
That's what I thought.
infiltrated our.
Well, what
our
I'm trying to
podcast.
say, this record is probably the most Beatle-esque record up until this time, and it was a welcome return to the Beatle fans of. That's all.
Agreed, and how successful it was speaks to that. Grant, definitely. There's how many hits came off this
A
album.
lot. Jet,
Big Jet,
Helen Wheels.
I mean, just the people were starved for something like this, so
Right.
he gave them what they wanted. Okay, and my other pick, like I said, I'm right in line with Ernesto. He's a big Glenn Hughes fan, as I am. I also picked the song by Deep Purple, but I'm picking the title track, "Burn" by Deep Purple.
Holy crap.
That I absolutely love that song. How powerful, driving, those soulful and funky vocals with Coverdale and Glenn Hughes. In 2023, when I reach for a Deep Purple album, invariably it's for Burn. I just keep on coming back to that one. Loved the version of the band previous. I liked what Tommy Bolin brought to the game a couple albums further on. But this period of Deep Purple with Coverdale and Hughes is what I go to now. I mean, it's when I reach for Deep Purple, invariably it's for this album. Love that song and the album. So that's it.
And your cat silently agrees with you.
And by the way, that cat has dementia. Just thought I'd.
He does. Just so you people don't be freaked out. He doesn't quite know what's up. Poor guy. He's losing weight and I don't know how much longer. He's 16.
Oh, wow.
I got to hand feed him.
He's a beautiful cat. Does he have teeth still?
He still has teeth. He just has forgotten how to eat. Wow. And I have to kind of like almost feed him. So, but he's a good boy. I've had him for 16 years and he's got me through some very hard times.
Breaks my heart.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Yeah.
Always with me. Always behind me on here.
He's your boy. I love that. All right. Thank you, DC. All right, John. I don't know where we are on the list. So.
We're talking music, cat dementia. And,
I don't know. I can't keep track.
Saucy ladies with hoses.
It's my fault that we're doing 10 tracks. We should have done 5. This is impossible. I know, but this is impossible on my end. I can't control it. I can't keep up. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Numbers 4 and 3. Number 4, the band that I talk about as much as I possibly can, and that is Little Feat. And the album is Beats Don't Fail Me Now, and there's a ton of songs I could have picked from this one, but I went with Skin It Back. Skin It Back was Paul Barrere's debut song with Little Feat. He played on Dixie Chicken, but this is the first song that he did a vocal on. This is funky as sin, great track, great pre-chorus into the chorus with the slight keyboards going on there. It's a wonderful beat, great little guitar parts in here. It's very cool. When they do it live, they usually like to do this and they go right into Spanish Moon, which is an even funkier song off this album. And the two go together like peanut butter and jelly. This whole album is fantastic. The only thing about this album that I wouldn't put it up with their like Sailing Shoes and Dixie Chicken is that the production isn't quite as strong on this, but song for song, I'd probably say this is their best album. But Skin It Back, fantastic song by the fantastic Little Feat. who are out there touring, by the way, and they will be back out in the fall here.
Is there anybody left that's alive in the band?
Yes, Bill Payne's been there since the beginning.
Okay.
And then if you go with the Dixie Chicken album, the Dixie Chicken lineup, when Lowell George turned them from a quartet to a sextet, that was 50 years ago this year. You still have Kenny Gradney on bass, and you still have Sam Clayton on vocals and congas and percussion. Excuse me. So you still have three of the members who did Dixie Chicken, and of course did the wonderful Wedding for Columbus double live album as well. So yeah,
They were here about 2 weeks ago. I didn't go, partly like because Grant's saying there's hardly anybody left that's like a front man, you know.
And I don't think Byron leaves his house.
I don't leave the house much.
That's right. But John, if you were going to recommend a Little Feat album for anyone who is not familiar with Little Feat, what would you recommend? 3?
Sailing Shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, Sailing Shoes, I would say, is the best one. I'd probably go Sailing Shoes, Dixie Chicken, and then I would probably go Feats Don't Fail Me Now.
Greatest Little Feat track. Go.
That's tough. Mercenary Territory.
Okay. There you go, kids.
The live version from Waiting for Columbus.
Which is a classic.
Fantastic. That's my favorite.
All
and
right,
I love Day
cool.
of the Dog Races from Time Loves a Hero as well.
Ooh, D-Rock or Rod Stewart and the Faces Stay With Me. That, you know what, gentlemen? I don't think anybody picked that, but that's a damn good choice.
It's just virtually impossible. And thanks to the people in the comment section, just great choices as well. I mean, it's a humongous task.
No.
I know, because I failed it terribly.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Well, look, I don't have any graphics.
Oh, compared to 73,
all
we're
stressed
zooming
out.
through this.
I'm all
That's
stressed
true.
out. All right, kids. I'm gonna go with.
I gotta do my number 3. I'll do
well,
it quick.
Shit. No, you're fine. Well, I got on a tangent. It's
Okay, let's talk about great number one-hit wonders from 73.
Mhm.
Well, the golden voice of Paul Carrack
Oh,
on the song "How Long."
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fantastic song.
Great song.
And a subject that a lot of us can relate to at one point or another in our lives too. What a fantastic
True
song!
they only
that.
put out one record.
Yeah, I didn't even realize they only put out one record. And I is that a hard one to find though? I never owned this song. I just always
You
loved it.
see it.
No, it's a $1 record. It was a
Is
$1
it
record
really? Nice.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
You'll see it.
I had it on Atrium.
Oh yeah, but great track here. Paul sounds spectacular. It's a wonderful rhythm, very memorable opening with the bass line. Fantastic track, great chorus. I can't recommend it highly enough. How Long by Ace.
That's a tremendous pick.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Tremendous,
Excellent.
DC is right.
Hey, my sister's here.
Well,
Oh,
where
okay.
is she? Did
Laurie.
she make a comment?
Yeah.
Well, let's bring it up.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi, John. Silently waiting in the wings. Haven't had anything meaningful to add. Well, Lori, why are you sitting and come on? Let's hear something. If you are John the Music Nut's sister, I want to hear something from you.
We already did the Kiss song, Laurie. I did
But
Black
thanks, Laurie,
Diamond
for
at
showing
number 7.
All right.
Thanks, Laurie.
Is it my turn now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Oh, excellent. Okay, well, why do I seem to have a lot more choices? I don't know. It doesn't matter. All right, because we're going to go with Power Pop, Overnight Sensation, hit record from starting over 1974.
Nice.
A masterpiece. The last Raspberries album. Even though the album's called Starting Over, well, they did start over because we had Wally Bryson left and we had, the drummer left. I'm having a brain crisis. So we got 2 new, Scott McCarl and whoever else came on. Oh yeah, oh God, brain problem. No notes. No, I have no net right now. We're going live. But anyway, Raspberries, Overnight Sensation hit record. Great track. I don't think it did anything on the charts because by this time, no one cared about the Raspberries. This was their last hurrah. Great one. The other one I'm going to pick is a big hit. This one they probably play a lot today still. You probably didn't think this would show up, but this gentleman just recently passed away. But other than the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, Sundown by Gordon
Nice.
Lightfoot.
Fantastic.
Come on, this is fantastic. Came out on Reprise 1974. This track speaks for itself. What do I have to? I mean, Gordon Lightfoot, I bow to you.
One of the great Canadian singer
One of the
songwriters
great,
right there.
Exactly. Come on. But great track. I like the album cover too because it's got Gordon. You know, he'd like to drink a lot then. He's probably thinking, you know what? This is a photo shoot, but I could get out there and drink if I could. But you can tell that in his eyes. But anyway, it's a great track. I love it. I had to mention it.
I just want to mention, Brian, you mentioned Give Me the Night, George Benson. That was actually 1980.
Oh.
Yeah, that was 80. I remember the album was called Give Me the Night as well.
Yeah.
Wasn't his hit Breezin' in 73 or 74?
Oh.
Either 74 or 76, maybe.
Yeah, something like
Yep.
that.
Yeah,
Oh.
Laurie was born in 74.
Lori was still in the womb.
I'm just saying we are learning about a lot about John's family. And she was not born yet. She was alive, but in the womb.
So back off, everybody. Back off.
D Rocker's coming back.
Hey,
David
Laurie, you're
Bowie.
watching too?
Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Okay, Grant. I will remember to check out Sundown.
Yep.
You got it,
You won't
Lewis.
regret it, Lewis.
You
Great
won't
track.
yeah. I remember him in the 70s. There you go. Oh, here's a good one. Dave, my fellow Marion, Ohioan, The Streak by Ray Stevens. Dave, if you remember that one as a kid, I used to have that 45. They used to
Staying in
play
there
that-
by the tomatoes.
They would play that on WMRN or WDIF all the time.
Dave, that song to
Remember
me,
that, Dave?
that song to me is a wall puncher.
You remember during that time period, people were streaking like crazy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah, speaking of
I
streaking,
didn't,
Jailbreak. That was when Angus Young would move the audience during the song
Yeah.
Jailbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It was a more innocent time.
It was a more innocent time. All right, that's my two choices. Byron, I suppose we still have more.
Got
Go
two
ahead.
more.
Okay,
Two more.
go ahead.
All right. If you were to ask me who my favorite band is, I'd probably tell you this band, and I don't know that I've ever really talked about them on your channel ever
Bee Gees.
before. Shockingly,
Bee
I'm
Gees.
going with Thin Lizzy
Nice.
for the Nightlife album. I think John, I think I saw you talk about this album recently on some
Yeah, I
other
love that album to death.
maybe on Peter
Soulful.
Kurt's channel. I don't know, but I'm gonna go. I almost went with It's Only Money, but I'm gonna go with Sha-La-La.
That's fine. This
Furious.
graphic covers your choice.
Yeah, short and sweet.
Furious.
That's
There
a
you go.
great pick.
So, man, so this album is our introduction to the Brian Roberts and Scott Gorham tandem on guitars, and they hadn't really developed their twin, harmony
Harmonies.
guitars quite yet. But
Harmony leads.
you hear a little bit of it here. But Sha-La-La, that drum beat is just incredible, and there's a couple really great guitar riffs that they're playing on this. They played this all the time live, and for a long time it was Brian Downey's drum solo song. So
Yeah.
it's a classic. My last pick is going to be Daryl already mentioned it. Deep Purple Burn.
Yeah.
One of the great
Got that.
guitar riffs of all time, right there, really, in my opinion. And David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes, they're doing their alternating vocals on this, and that's great. Glenn Hughes is my favorite singer of all time, by the way.
He's right up there for me too. Right
And
up there.
the guitar solo on here is great. The keyboard solo on here is great, and then there's a little classical interlude that they play. It's just one of the great heavy songs of all time.
Yep.
So those are my
Super. Excellent picks. Wish Mrs. B.M. Bolt would weigh in on her picks. I keep waiting for her picks.
That's right.
She wasn't born yet, so she doesn't really know any of these songs.
Trophy wife. All right. Thank you, Byron. Up next, Ernesto. What you got?
All right.
She knows some of them.
A trophy.
Brian just talked about this album, but I'm just gonna say
Jesus.
this is a great album. This is the beginning of the dual guitar sound. Okay, that's the important thing to remember because I love Thin Lizzy. It's one of my favorite bands, and you got Brian Robinson, and then you got Scott Gordon. Scott Gordon, of course, from California. He's an amazing guitarist, and I picked "Still in Love with You," another great ballad.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Gary
that
Moore,
song.
though.
Yeah, I know, but that's just an amazing ballad. I just love that song. And look at the graphics on this. I mean, it's amazing.
It's phenomenal.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's Thin Lizzy's more soulful album.
Yeah.
There's a lot of soul on that album, just like Thunder and Lightning is their heavy metal album. But I love Nightlife. Love it.
Beautiful cover. Beautiful cover. You know. And
People
then
put that album down a lot, but it's great.
Oh,
I
is.
love it.
Is
It
there
has
really
to
a
be-
weak Thin Lizzy album, gentlemen?
well, there might be, but if you're a Lizzy fan, you never say there's weak albums, but it depends. But that's just a great album. You can't go wrong with that. And then for my
Oh,
last one,
crap.
my last one, I have to talk about somebody who is an amazing guitarist and who I've actually met twice. I've had the privilege to meet him twice. Is the one and only Michael Schenker, UFO.
Wait a minute, I got
Nice.
that too.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Amazing record, man. This is the beginning of Michael Schenker right here. Probably 17, 18 years old, just started, and this was the debut, American debut, as a matter of fact. And you can imagine where this guy was gonna go. It's just stratosphere. I was gonna pick Lipstick Traces because I love Lipstick Traces as an instrumental, but I picked Rock Bottom. Either
Right.
one.
Rock Bottom's a classic.
It's a classic, but Lipstick Traces is one of those songs that, wow, amazing.
What's better, Rock Bottom or Big Bottom?
Oh, I don't know.
Spinal Tap, Big
I
Bottom.
like Rock
It's
Bottom.
got great bass on Big Bottoms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is better?
but you can't go wrong with this album. I mean, come on. It's UFO.
Excellent.
Wow,
Yeah.
Brian says that's the best one. That's a pretty strong statement.
That's British rock right there. Amazing. I'm done.
All right, DC.
Okay, just quick. I just want to address a few comments.
Oh shit. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Along with two Frankenstein songs last week, we have the Thin Lizzy, Sha-La-La, and Ermine also says you could have done Sha-La-La by Al Green. True.
Yeah.
Waiting for Three Dog Night from Brian. I saw Three Dog Night 2 weeks ago. Only one dog left. Pretty good show. for
One
older-
dog night. is
One
what it
dog
should be
left.
called.
but a full band, but only one of the original dogs left. Ozark Martin, Daredevil's D-Rocker. I always thought that was a long-lost Todd Rundgren song. That sounds like Todd Rundgren's pop.
But does that sound like anything else on that record?
No,
Yeah.
to my dismay,
Yeah.
because I bought it and I'm thinking, where's all the stuff that sounds like Todd or Jackie Blue? It ain't on there.
But it's a great track.
But it sounds to me just like Todd Rundgren, that period of time as pop stuff. Okay, my second to the last pick is, and someone mentioned Queen, and I was gonna pick Ogre Battle. That's a tremendous track. But I'm gonna go to Sheer Heart Attack and go with Brighton Rock. And the reason why I picked that one, it rocks, and it gives you a window into just how talented Freddie Mercury was, because that song is a song between a guy and a gal. And he's doing both voices in an operatic way as they're call and response answering each other in the song. So I just thought that was a very, very different aspect to that tune. And
The
my
guitar
last,
solo is great on there too.
Yeah,
really.
right.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. And my last pick is a song I've always loved, but it wouldn't have been in my top 10 until up about 6 years ago. My wife and I went to Italy, went to Venice, and had a chance to go through walked across the Bridge of Sighs. And that Robin Trower's song clicked in as I'm walking over, and that sense of dread in that song I felt when I was going over that bridge. You got two little windows in that bridge from the courthouse to the jails or to execution. And you have two little windows so you can look down on the beautiful city of Venice and realize that ain't going to be a part of your life anymore. And that's why it's called the Bridge of Sighs. As these criminals were taken from the courtroom to be incarcerated or put to death, they had one little last view of the beauty of Venice. And that song, it just captured that dread. And that's what I felt when I was there. So that's why that's going to be my last pick.
I think Robin Trower's been our number one artist.
He's been mentioned
for
more
tonight's
than
show.
anybody tonight. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Like I said, I never know what people are going to pick. We throw it out there and people just do what they do. All right. That's a good one. All right. Is there anything else, DC?
No, I've got my list of wall punchers, but we're way overboard here.
All right. Draw the music cut.
All right. Before I give you my last two, Thin Lizzy, Vagabonds of the Western World, right through Black Rose, 73 to 79. I would put those albums up against any other band that released albums of that same period. They're just as good, if not better. I put that up. Aerosmith put great stuff out then.
Mm-hmm.
You had Kiss put out a lot of great stuff then. You had Rush put out a lot of great stuff. Judas Priest. Absolutely. Yeah. Judas Priest, but I'll tell you, Queen certainly did. But Thin Lizzy, top to bottom there. Fantastic. Right. And I loved it. And Nightlife is the album I always reach for first. I love that album. I love Showdown. I love Showdown so much.
Well, now you're going to, just because you guys have talked about this, I want to be honest. I've never heard this record.
Wow.
But I'm going to hear it. You guys have talked it up so much. I have Bridge of Sighs, but you've got me sold. You know what? And I just want to say, anybody tuning in, this is why we talk about this stuff. We are all music lovers. We dig this stuff and we'd like to talk about music, and us getting together and talking about this, we can get turned on to things maybe we are not familiar with or we've heard. So we hope the same thing happens with you from these shows, because we just like music. And I will check out Nightlife, Thin Lizzy, because, well, you guys talk it up. It must be great.
And it's impossible to hear. It's impossible to hear everything. Right. And that's why these shows are so valuable. I've already got 3 or 4 things that I said I need to pursue that. I need to check that out. So
there you go. Love it. All right. What's next?
Okay, so before I give love to the artists we've given so much love to tonight, I'm gonna go with because it's my number one. My number two.
Okay.
And I cannot take. I have to put in a song that gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. And this was my dad's favorite band, the Rolling Stones, and this is off of the It's Only Rock and Roll album, and the song is called Time Waits for No One. What brings me to goosebumps? Mick Taylor's solos, both of them.
Well, yeah.
This is a great ballad that would end the first side of the record. It's just a spectacular track. I love Mick's vocal on here. I love the interplay between the band and the chorus is awesome. I can't say enough about this song. It's one of my 5 favorite Rolling Stones songs, period. And probably the only one that really isn't a popular song by the Stones. Mm-hmm. But Time Waits for No One would be my number 2. And number 1, Robin Trower. And
oh my God,
it's Day of the Eagle. Day of the Eagle was, you know how Time Waits for No One always gives you goosebumps. Day of the Eagle always gets me fired up.
Just what explodes off that vinyl.
Absolutely.
It does. And I've seen him play it live. I've met Robin Trower. He's a gentleman. When they do this live, though, it just yeah, it just blows you away. One of the best,
Agreed.
great openers, one of the best openers of an album you'll ever hear, and I mean, it just explodes.
I'm glad he's getting so much love tonight, because every time I've seen Robin Trower live, he absolutely loves every moment, is so happy to be playing for people that love what he does, smiling the whole time. And that fretboard is just like committed to memory. He's smiling at you, and it's like, you know, what a talent.
Yeah, he always hits this album hard when he plays, though. He'll hit the newer stuff a little bit, but he usually plays at least 4 tracks from Bridge of Sighs.
Yeah.
And they're all the songs we named tonight. I mean,
and just bowls the crowd over with Eagle and the Dove, and then that opening riff to Bridge of Sigh. I mean, everyone just
yeah.
What do you guys think of the reunion release Walk on Water?
I liked it. I don't own it, but I've heard it's a good album.
Yeah, it's a very good album. Talking about UFO, right?
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's better than Sharks, but it was
someone needs to write this down. You need a separate Wall Puncher show.
Yeah. I might have suggested that to you, Grant, because I came up with that Wall Puncher, and you know, what the hell are you talking about? Is it a song you hate so much that when it used to come on the radio or something, you just look for the first wall to just drive your fist through it.
All right, I'm down for that. Make a note and let me know. I want to do that one. That'd be fun. That sounds like a blast.
I'm going to throw out one from 74 real quick. Having My Baby by Paul Anka.
Oh, nice.
God.
Nice.
That's a wall puncher.
Rand Kelly.
Rand Kelly's
in the
here.
house.
It's all about yes, and it's all about look at this.
He's naming the whole album.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put the record down? You don't have to go through each track. God knows, Rand, that's the greatest album on the planet. We already know.
The man loves his prog.
Look, he mentioned it too. Hi, Rand. I mentioned Relayer got a bunch of sighs. No, we're not sighing.
Bridge of Sighs, man. There's a lot of
Bridge of Sighs. There's a lot of sighing.
Exactly.
That's a travesty.
Thomas
Trower backing up Dr.
Trower. Holy
Trower.
shit. That's a mind blank.
Oh my God.
Nice.
First tour, probably.
Sylvia's mother said, no thanks.
Here we go. The best Gentle Giant album. The Power and the Glory.
That's Saxon. No, I'm just joking. But Saxon.
That's Gentle Giant. Mention Gentle Giant. See, Lewis is Rand comes in late, trying to put throw his weight around, and everybody's already mentioned all these.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Lamb, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic show, fellas. All right, let me finish up with my picks.
Wait,
I'm not. Okay. Gordon okay. We like the funk on this channel, and I also like the comments down. All right. Sly and the Family Stone, Loose Booty. Who doesn't like a loose booty? Not like Sly. Sly really likes it. But this is like Small Talk 1974. This is like the last. I'm not saying this is a great Sly Stone album, but this is probably the last hurrah.
It is.
You know, Fresh was a great record.
Yeah.
This was like the last hurrah.
That's a shame. He just pissed away all that time.
Is that on a digipack?
Yeah, it's 3 discs.
Like.
Yeah, but I've got that, but it's not a digipack.
This is a limited edition 3.0, so it's got a 3rd disc in it. I don't know if yours is the same. This is the rare one.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Sly Stone, we got to have some more funk in there.
Nice.
Fantastic show, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lewis.
Refugee.
Tom Petty.
That's 79.
That's 79.
I got honorable mention. I want to say Stormbringer. Stormbringer, Lady Double Dealer.
I got another one. Oh God, if I could control this. Graham Parsons, Brass Buttons from Grievous Angel on reprise. What the hell? Who's typing this shit? Must be me with my glasses off. But Lemonheads did a version of Brass Buttons, which is incredible.
Oh, nice.
Graham Parsons' version is incredible. All right. It's great. Great show. Very entertaining.
Thank you, Ermin.
Thank you, Ermin.
Oh, the good doctor is still here.
Here.
Oh, you know what? I did funk.
Oh,
And you
great.
see, whenever I mention Sly Stone, the good doctor pops
He jumps
in
right in.
right at the last minute, you know. I might have one more. I mentioned Supertramp, of course. Bloody Well Right.
Nice.
Of course, it's a great record. This is where
it's a great
Supertramp really got it together, you know.
Right.
So it was good. I don't know. Did anybody have anything else? Just to,
Brian, did you didn't say anything?
Byron, you mean?
Brian?
Byron.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Brian in the comments?
Who are we talking to?
Byron.
I got a couple that I'll just throw out there. Rebel, David Bowie. Call
That's
Me the
good.
Breeze.
Oh,
Leonard Skinner.
nice.
Technically, it's J.J. Cale song, right?
Mhm.
And then I'm going to go with Spiral Architect off of that 74 album of Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. The good
Nice.
doctor's back
Well,
again.
it might have been 73, but mine says 74. So
Okay.
We're supposed to do that funk episode, but I've yet to schedule it. Whenever the good doctor pops in, I think, oh, damn it, we got to do that funk episode. But, you know, again,
That, and we got to do the wall punchers because
Wall
Dave
Punchers would be fun.
Ohio Dave mentioned the streak, and I had that on my list of wall punchers. That song was number 8 for the year of 1974. That is for mouth breathers.
Well, that's because Ernesto
man.
is tapped in, Brian McFadden. He knows. Ernesto's our man. He picked Dreamer.
No
Well,
doubt.
see, the good doctor's still waiting.
Yeah, I know what happened. You got the guy waiting too long.
That's because
He's gonna move on
I
to another
fail. I am a failure at this.
show. There you
Yeah,
go.
1975's next.
Nice.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good year. Very interesting.
King Crimson,
year.
one more Red Nightmare.
Yeah, Red's one of my honorables.
I picked
Fantastic.
Starless Rand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've done it. Oh God.
That's a
Good
great.
job.
I'm not
Good
going
job,
anywhere.
guys.
Oh, wait a minute.
Thank you.
The good doctor. You having a beer? What's that mean? Cheers.
Y'all brought in the comments tonight. Thank you all so much, all of you in the
Yeah.
chat. Spectacular.
Thumbs up to everybody.
That's right. We
so
couldn't
much.
do it without you. And you know, it's just all
Absolutely.
about talking music. That's all this is about.
Laurie, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
everybody,
know. And
Everybody
Mrs.
in the
BM
chat.
Bolt. And my wife made an
I love it.
appearance.
That's right.
She's working though in Kentucky. She probably is on lunch. But
Oh, I got one
appreciate
more
it.
honorable.
Go ahead. We're good.
Mott the Hoople, throw away the stone from the Hoople.
There you go.
There you go.
Fantastic band.
Fantastic.
Ian Hunter's still out there at 84. Buy his new album, Defiance Part 1. It's killer.
We're gonna do
Fantastic.
that. Oh, there's
Yeah.
Lori. Let's
Sweet.
highlight that.
Thank you, Laurie.
Even though she was just a twinkle in someone's eye. Oh, actually, she was a fertilized egg then. She's okay.
I'd like to add Grand Funk shining on, if I will.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look.
I know Granton would appreciate that.
Trophy wife is weighing in.
Nobody even mentioned that. I'm surprised.
No.
Oh, you didn't forget. Quit saying
Grant,
that. Ray.
Grant, have you heard the song "Shining On"? I think you
there
would
we
like
go.
it.
Oh, I
There we
hate it.
go, Byron. That's right.
Oh, I hate that record.
Let's get the funk out.
That's a
Nice.
horrible album. Everybody keeps talking. Please come to Boston. Anyone like this or
There
no?
was some love for
Yeah,
that
I like
earlier,
it.
Laurie.
I like it.
Yeah,
Laura,
someone
who was?
mentioned
I
that
forget
in
who
the-
did that
in the
song.
chat.
Dave Loggins.
Dave Loggins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
No
great-
relation to Kenny.
Yeah, another great
Oddly
one,
enough.
I believe.
Brian's
Thank you,
always
Brian.
very appreciative. We appreciate
No
you
doubt.
too, Brian. All right, kids, oh my God, we're so late. If we do 1974, we're gonna cut that. We're gonna do 5 a piece, not 10. It's just too much. I
Is it
can't
really?
handle it. I
I
can't
think
handle
we
it.
should stick
You
with
gotta
10.
love the rapport, though.
Yeah, I think.
All
we should
right.
stick with 10.
Look,
Maybe
there's
8.
Lori. We're gonna get Lori on here
Dave
next
Loggins.
time.
Yeah, let's get Lori. Let's get Mrs. Bolt on.
And Mrs.
Ladies'
Grant.
night.
This is
Ladies'
Arthur.
night.
I can't believe that Rand came up with Seals and Crofts.
I just listened to that song today. I was listening
That is
to the
hardly
greatest hit.
Prog.
That is a great song though. That reminds me of summer big time. Diamond Girl, absolutely.
Summer Breeze too.
Great track.
Yep, Summer Breeze.
This could go on. I know I'm trying to end it. I can't end it. I'm trying. D Rocker, good evening, Dr. Funk. Maybe D and D should, I don't know, get a room.
The show.
All right, I'm ending this. Gentlemen, I will be in contact with you later about setting up 1974. I need to task DC Tune Time about the Wall Puncher show. Don't let me forget.
Okay, we're definitely going to do it.
And the
I
Funk
cannot
episode, we need to do that.
And wait a minute, John.
We
Just
can
to
do
let
this
you
after
know,
we end the show.
we all agreed on the show we talked about. Remember what we talked about?
Why don't we end the show and talk about it now?
I know. Does it begin with a B and end with an X?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody
all
said
right.
they're down. Everybody said they're good.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
all
Are we
right.
talking about that again? Ernesto,
Yes.
calm the fuck down. Jesus.
Why don't we end the show and then we can talk about it?
You gotta win.
Calm the
You
fuck
have to go with
down.
it.
Jesus. I hate to swear, but this box set thing. Jesus, you won't let it go.
The box set.
All right, everybody. I want to thank the panel. This was fun. We went way long, but whatever. I'm good with that. Please like, subscribe. We'll do 1975. There's more stuff to come. And Rand, good friend Rand, King of Nothing as well. Okay.
Seals and Crop. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a classic one. Classic. I don't have any idea what that is. All right. Well, everybody, we'll see you on the next one. Gentlemen, don't leave. We will discuss that real quick. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. Have a good weekend.
See you, everybody.
We'll see you.
Take care.
And
Thank you.
keep it clean.